Hello everyone. As you can see, I have a mysterious package in front of me, although you can kind of see what it is. Welcome to the vlog. We have some exciting things today. I started reading a new book last night that I'm obsessed with that I can't wait to tell you about. So I got this PR package in the mail. I just did like a book shopping vlog and I opened a mystery book at the end of that video. There's so much happening. So welcome, we're just gonna jump right in. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Summer. I talk about books, I do reading vlogs, I talk about e-readers, I occasionally travel and do tarot. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe and stick around. Please give this video a like too. I need to remember to say that more because that really helps my videos get seen by more people. Like every like and comment and the longer you guys stay on the video, that makes the algorithm want to send it to more people. So the more you guys interact, that just helps me grow my channel so much. And then it helps me to get more PR packages and things like this. So thank you so much and welcome back to everybody who's been here for a while. So this came in the mail. And as you can see, I won't show you the other side, obviously, because it has my address on it. It was a PR package from Entangled Publishing. I'm assuming it is a sports book. And it says, if you can see, like the E is kind of covered by the tape, but it says enemies. It's very themed. It says the wrong guy, the worst time, and the best chemistry. So kind of cool that the packaging is themed. And again, it's themed all the way around, but I won't show you the other side. Maybe I need to figure out how I can like cover up the address or something in future PR packages, but Entangled, thank you so much for sending this to me. I got signed up for the PR list a few months ago and I didn't know what was going to happen with that. So this was like literally the most exciting thing to see in my mailbox. So thank you again, Entangled. Let's see what is inside. Oh, okay. Enemies by, I think it's Tihan. Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone, if you know how to say this. I think it's Tihan though. I actually love this author. I've just really never said the name out loud. So we have, it looks like this is a sports romance and it looks like it's football. It's very much giving like Friday Night Lights, which I love. I feel like I've seen this before though. I'm kind of curious. I'm wondering if they just picked this book up because I feel like it's not super new. Let's look. I'm wondering if it's like published by them. So now they're sending it out. Let's see. Maybe I'll look at it on Goodreads. Oh yeah, interesting. Okay, so it was published in 2019, but Entangled just picked it up in 2024 in September. Cool, so it's actually an Amara. I think Entangled, well, now I'm questioning this. Now I'm gonna have to look this up. I know that I'm on the Red Tower PR list, and I think Red Tower has Entangled, and now they have Amara. So they're like, it's so many different imprints with the publishing companies. But anyway, I'm really grateful to get this. I'm excited to read it. I actually think I saw this on Kindle Unlimited, so you can look on there and see if it is, and I'll report back to you. But let's see what it says it's about. So it says, her worst enemy might be her only chance at a happy ending. Emotional and full of steam, Dusty and Stone's story hits deep. Stone Reeves was my neighbor, and I've hated him since 6th grade. Okay. Gorgeous and charismatic, he became the town's football god, while I became the town's invisible girl. He went to a Division I school for football, while my father was fired by his father. His team won the national championship, while my mother died the same day. Oh my gosh. He was first-round pick for the NFL, while I made the worst decision of my life. Now I'm in Texas trying to pick up the pieces, but Stone is here. Stone is everywhere. It doesn't matter that that disaster has struck my life again. It doesn't matter that he's the one trying to console me. It doesn't matter that he's the nation's newest football obsession, because for me, he has and always will be my enemy. Okay, that's super intense. So very much enemies to lovers, perhaps, tropes going on here. And this is giving like Friday Night Lights. I feel like I normally read like hockey romances, but I feel like this could be fun just to mix it up a bit. So again, thank you so much, Entangled, for sending this. I will be sure to include it in my vlog as I read it. I don't know if it'll be this one or not, but we'll see. While I'm sitting here talking about things, I figured I might as well go grab my Kindle so I can talk about this. I started this book called You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Jeneva Rose. And a friend, shout out Erica, recommended this to me, and it was actually available from the library right away. So I couldn't help but just start reading it because I wanted something that would just suck me in, and it did. I am 31% in. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's been really fast. The way that this story has been structured, it's 2 different narratives by 2 different characters, and it goes by like day 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on day 4 right now. I don't know how many days there are. I haven't looked ahead. That's kind of what I love about Kindles, is that I'm a person who is really prone to flipping to the back even when I shouldn't, and like reading the end. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I did that with Iron Flame. I did that with a few more books. I used to do it all the time when I was a kid. Did anyone else do that? Let me know in the comments if you're one of those people, but I can't do that on a Kindle. It's like harder to have to like go flip to the back, and then I'm like very conscious that I'm doing it. So I kind of love that it keeps the suspense alive a little bit more. So I'm reading this right now, and it is about a girl named Grace who goes to an Airbnb in Wyoming, and she does a thing every year where she like throws a dart at a map and sees where it lands, and she goes to and she goes to wherever that place is. So this year it was Wyoming, and she goes to this ranch owned by obviously a hot guy, and they have some chemistry, and then there are just like some creepy things that happen. Like, I kind of love this book because it's like I can't tell what's going on. Like, I can't tell if like the guy is supposed to be creepy or not creepy, or maybe like she's creepy. There's other characters that are creepy. There are just creepy things happening all around them. So I love how it's just like kind of a regular story, and then Jeneva Rose like throws something weird in there, and you're like, oh, I hate that. But then we just go past it. And so then it's just like a lingering creepiness instead of like an overt horror, I guess. And we're kind of getting like more and more horrifying as the book is going, obviously, but I love the way it's unfolding. I love the character development. I was thinking about how hard it must be to write a thriller where people are like guessing things, but they don't guess right, and you're like properly building the story and the characters. So I was just thinking about that while I was reading this. And like I said, I think I'm 31% in it, and I started it last night at like 8 p.m. So thank you for the recommendation, Erica, on this one. And I am going to read Quicksilver, I promise. This is really good so far. If you've read this, let me know in the comments, but don't spoil anything because I haven't finished it yet. And I'm going to spend some time reading this. And I also just got a thriller, actually. I'm like, should I switch Romantasy September and Thriller October? Like, should I just combine and just read like so much thriller, so much romantasy in both months? Because the one that I just got from the blind date with a book was actually a fantasy thriller, so it kind of combines both of them. So I'll keep you updated on this. And I also need, now that I'm like sitting down in this format, I'm realizing I need to film a recent reads, because I realized I haven't filmed like a wrap up since June. So I probably should do that. So anyway, that's your little update. And also here's my cute little pop socket with the stand on it. People always ask me about this because I mention it like not everyone, but not every vlog, but there's like the pop socket on there, and it like has this little magnetic ring. It goes like that. And then if I want to use it as a stand, I should figure out where the opening is. Pop it open. Ta-da. And you have a little stand. Oops. And then I use this while I'm like eating dinner or something if I really am into a book. Like I did this last night because I really wanted to keep reading this, but I couldn't like hold it while I was eating dinner. And so I like to do this when I'm like really into a book, is use the stand. So that's that. These are all linked below, by the way. I don't know. Should I keep my stickers the way they are, or should I look at some new ones? I don't have any stickers in the back of my Kobo, so I might do like a Kobo decorating. I am going to do, by the way, a Kobo Kindle comparison. I just want to use the Kobo longer before I did that. So that's coming up, and that's your update. I know this was a very long intro, but I just felt like I had so much to catch you guys up on. So there we go. Okay, it's a couple days later. I haven't been vlogging because I've been so busy, but I have been reading. I've been listening to this audiobook actually, and it's really good. I highly suggest the audiobook. I found it on Libby, but then I also found the Kindle one, and I just love it when I can go back and forth. It's like my favorite thing ever, because then I can listen to it like when I'm in the car, or I can read it at night, and I just feel like it's so immersive when you can just listen to it wherever you are. And then I feel like it keeps me out of going into a book slump. Tell me if that's correct for any of you guys too. Like if you feel like you can read it
like it's just more convenient, then you're less likely to be in a slump over it. I have like 10% left of this. Things went crazy. I went from like 60% in this book to like 90% last night, and everything went nuts. Like everything that it had been leading up to like the entire time. I think this author, Jeneva Rose, she wrote The Perfect Marriage or A Perfect Marriage or something like that. I love Frida McFadden as like one of my favorite thriller authors, but I think I actually might try some more Jeneva Rose books as well, just because I loved this one. I still have 10% to go though, so I'm kind of scared. So I'm gonna keep reading this today and I'll keep you updated.
I just finished You Shouldn't Have Come Here, and this was wild. I love this book because I'm following Jeneva Rose now and I'm rating this 5 stars. I felt like even like I don't know, thrillers are such a test of like your own mental, like I don't know, I want to say mental capacity, but just like your own imagination. I think that's a better description, because this entire book, I was thinking there was something completely different going on. I kind of predicted the ending, but not really. Like I was like, oh, it won't go there. Like that's not what this one is. I think this one's something else. And I just love that everything was a red herring, but it wasn't at the same time. So not to spoil that. And I feel like I found maybe a new favorite thriller author. I really love this. This doesn't have that great of ratings. It has like 3.7 or something on Goodreads and Amazon. So I'm going to read those and see what people thought. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you guys want me to kind of add some spoiler sections in here so I can talk about the things, and that way in case you go read the books, you can come back and see what I thought, but I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't read it or you don't want to. But I will say non-spoilery. Again, I feel like I guessed some of the twists, but I really didn't guess a lot of them. There were even more. Like where I last filmed this when I was at 90%, it was all kind of like going crazy. Then I think there were like 4 more twists, and then there were even a couple in the last couple of pages, and I love that. Like I had one where I was like, oh, and I put my hand over my mouth because I was like, are you serious? So this I feel like could totally be a series, but also maybe that would ruin the magic because then you know. But I feel like Jeneva Rose could do it. I feel like she could take it somewhere else, but who knows? Like this reminds me like this could be like the new Housemaid series. I don't know when this book came out. I'll have to look at that too. But I put Home is Where the Bodies Are on hold, and then I think I rented One of Us is Dead on Libby. So I might keep reading some of her books. We'll see. But I might also just read Quicksilver because that's what I have next. I don't want to hit that because then it'll show you the last page, but Quicksilver is what I have coming up next that I think I'm going to read. I just really wish I had the audio. It's such a luxury when you have the audio and the book on here because like I said before, you can read it wherever. And Quicksilver's audio I think doesn't come out until... Actually, it might be this month. Hang on, let's look. Yeah, unfortunately, Quicksilver's audio doesn't come out until October 29th. I was thinking it was maybe sooner. What's the one that I was thinking about that is actually out now? Hold on, let me look through my wish list. Oh, okay. Actually, okay, The Veiled Kingdom comes out on the 10th of this month. So, which is a few days away at this point. So this is what I have in my cart right now is I have the audio of Loot, that book that I got that was the blind date with a book, and then I also have The Veiled Kingdom. Should I read Loot? Should I just read Quicksilver even though I don't have the audio? Maybe I'll start Quicksilver, but sometimes I'm just like so excited to get into it and like be able to listen to it wherever, and it's so immersive when I have the audiobook and the other book. But again, that's a luxury. If you have any other good thriller suggestions, please leave them in the comments because I really enjoyed the Jeneva Rose one that I just read. If you're a fan of hers or anybody else, please let me know. Loot though, okay, so this one's a fantasy. Then Loot is like that fantasy thriller. So I'm like, could that be a good combination? But I just keep talking about how I'm gonna read Quicksilver and then I never do. So I feel like I should do that. I'll have to decide. Maybe I'll listen to a podcast first for like a palate cleanser. I don't mind the Kobo over here. I was just looking through some other books that I have as like options to read. What is happening here? Okay, there we go. Anyway, I wanted to follow up on my thoughts on this book because I did go on Goodreads and Amazon and I read some of the reviews where people didn't love it. And actually some of my friends, like some of you guys, didn't love it. And I thought it was so interesting what people were saying about some of the like insta-love situations. So there's a passage in the beginning of the book, and this is not a spoiler, but there's a passage where she says like she had a book that she was reading, like the main character had a book that she was reading when she went to this Airbnb in Wyoming. she went there with this book, and it was like a beach read, a thriller, something else, like all in one. I'll have to maybe find the quote. But I remember hearing that because I was listening to the audiobook at that point, and I was like, huh, that's so interesting. Maybe that's kind of like what this book is going to be. It's like a little bit of a hint, and it's dressed as a thriller because there were elements of this book that were like a beach read, kind of like some insta love, but I think it was supposed to be unnerving. Like, I think it was all supposed to like build and be unnerving, because then you didn't know who to trust. Like, you didn't know, there were all these characters that came into play, and it was kind of like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a small town romance or something. Like, it was like a beach read or a small town, like Wyoming ranch beach read, small town romance. Wyoming isn't a beach, obviously, but just that vibe. And I think it was supposed to be unnerving, and I loved that about it. And I think I could totally see how some people would not love that. And there were some things that were like kind of cringy, but I listened to it, and let me tell you, if you have listened to the audio, there were some things that were very cringe. But again, it was like unnervingly, like it was like, what was that? Like, why was that in there? I think it was, and then like every sentence, something also that I really liked is that every sentence at the end of the chapter, there would be just something that like wouldn't quite fit. It was like, what? Like, it would just kind of be like a little like, like kind of turn and be like, remember, you're reading a thriller, by the way. And it'd be kind of creepy. I did also see some people having some complaints about the ending. And again, that's kind of what I meant when I said, like, I would love to have seen like maybe a book 2. This came out in 2023, so maybe Jeneva Rose is writing like a book 2, because it all kind of happened fast at the end. It was like slow, creepy, fast, crazy, insane, so much. Did we all read the same book? So that's kind of what happened. So that's kind of more of my thoughts. I feel like I need to come on here and just explain it a bit more. But if you've read this book, I would love to know your thoughts. And I just want more. I feel like I'm kind of having a book. I want a small town romance, but I also want a thriller. I just want this, but in different packaging. But I also don't want to know what's coming. So if you have any suggestions like this, let me know. As for what I'm going to read next, you can see that I do have a couple of Jeneva Rose books downloaded from the library. I do have the third Housemaid book, which I need to finish reading at some point, but I feel like I need to let those books just like come to me when needed. And Frida also has another one coming out soon called The Boyfriend, which I'm excited about. I have Not in Love on the Kobo, but am I in the mood for Not in Love? I don't know. I've really been mood reading lately. Quicksilver, again, I want to read Quicksilver so bad, but you know what intimidated me? I'm gonna be so honest with you. What intimidated me about Quicksilver is I don't know if I'm like in the mood for something where I have to like learn pronunciations and maps. Sometimes I am, like sometimes I crave that, and I'm like, I want like world building and I want to be transported. And then sometimes I have like a lot going on at work, and I just like, I don't know if I can handle it. But maybe it's not hard. Maybe I'm just being lazy. I also have The Spark of the Everflame, but kind of the same situation. The Resort, that's what I was going to talk about. I'm like toying with the idea of The Resort. A crime at a resort sounds like it could be maybe a good next thriller. Has anyone read The Resort? I'll have to do a poll or something, but I feel like I need to read the description on The Resort again. Let's read. Oh, it marked as currently reading for me, so you may have just seen that on Goodreads. Let's read the description of this. And if you don't follow me on Goodreads, feel free to go find me. I'll link it below. Vacation thriller. See, I hear the words vacation thriller and I immediately love it. Set on a remote island in Thailand following 2 mysterious women, a charismatic group of expats, and the one murder poised to bring their paradise crashing down. Okay, there are 3 rules. Leave the past behind. Always be careful of who you trust, and if someone who discovers who you really are, run. Okay, the problem with The Resort is I don't love the narrator. The audiobook, she narrated something else that I don't remember what. It could have been Heartless Hunter, which I saw some people reading actually recently. Tell me if you liked Heartless Hunter. That's not what I was trying to do. Heartless Hunter actually was one of those where like I didn't love the ending as it was happening, but then I liked it so much more later. I realized I don't have it on Kindle. I only have it on my bookshelf over there, but all right, The Resort could be a good one. But with Quicksilver and The Resort, for both of those, I do not have an audio. So sometimes I feel like I get a little sluggish if I can't be like listening to it while I'm cleaning or driving or something like that. So When the Moon Hatched also feels like it could be a lot. Just for the summer could be good. I might check out the audio for Just for the Summer just to see, because summer is ending and I'm like, oh no, should I read that or should I save it for like December? Wouldn't that be kind of funny? Let me know in the comments, should I save that one for the summer or for the winter? So it's like middle of January and I'm like reading Just for the Summer. That would honestly be kind of iconic. So I'm feeling maybe The Resort or Quicksilver or one of these Geneva Roses. Okay, I'm obsessed with flight attendant vlogs. Is anyone else obsessed with them? I feel like it makes me want to be a flight attendant. There was a phase in my life where I almost was one, and I interviewed with 2 separate companies, but then I chickened out, partially because of the pay and partially because I like only 5'3", so it was a little scary because I was like, can I reach the what are they called? The overhead bins and like help people? But I don't know. They're my guilty pleasure. I just love watching flight attendants vlogs. Oh, I can talk as usual. I love watching flight attendant vlogs, but this one is like, I just watched her talk about Seattle like last week, and so I was so excited when I saw this one pop up. But what are your favorite genres? I'm super curious. Like if anyone loves to watch, obviously we all probably love to watch book videos, but what else do we love? Okay, another ARC. I really love the cover of this one. I think I'm gonna put this one on my Kobo because I like the color. I need to be so much better about ARCs. I'm still thinking about doing that ARC only vlog because I have so many to read, but I think this one comes out, I'll have to look up one, but let me go ahead and transfer it to my Kobo and then I will update you. Okay, ta-da, it's so cute. So now it's on here and I have a little ARC collection on here, and I feel like this is not giving how awesome the color looks. I do love having the Kobo for like the e-ink covers. I just feel like it adds a little je ne sais quoi, and I love that it's white. It's just like it's like a new experience from the Kindle. I do love my Kindles and I will never ever fully leave them, but I just like having the variety. Also, oh my gosh, I managed to find some of the Alani Witch's Brew energy drinks at Target. This like made my entire week. Remember in the last vlog, was it the last vlog or the vlog before? One of the vlogs before, I was reading something and I was drinking like the Cherry Crush or something, and I kept saying that I wasn't able to find this one anywhere, but I found it. It's just as delicious as I remember, and I'm so happy to have it. So maybe I'll have a nice little read-in tonight with this book. Right now I'm reading The Resort, so I feel like I'm reading a lot of like island books right now. I feel like this would fit right in. So thank you to Love Notes PR for sending this to me. Hello everyone. It's another day. It's an energy drink day today because I just didn't get very much sleep last night. So we are drinking a pink slush this time because I'm trying to kind of save the Witch's Brew flavor because they're out again at Target. So I'm trying to kind of hoard them and make sure that I have some when I really, really want that flavor. But this one is another favorite of mine. So I'm reading The Resort. I know I said I was doing romantasy. I know. I'm well aware. I don't know. The mood reading, the thrillers just took over. After reading You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose, I just was like, you know what? I have The Resort again from the library. I'm trying to be a good library borrower and actually read my books on time. Let's see how far I am in The Resort. I listened to it a little bit because I have the audiobook too. Just the best experience. I just love it so much. I feel like I get so much more read when I have that. So far we have 2 characters. We have Cass and Brooke. We're at 12% in. I feel like I'm a little bit further than that, but I think the audio didn't sync the whole entire way. It's going by really, really quickly. And so we have 2 characters. We have Cass and we have Brooke, and Brooke is like a TikToker influencer, and she is just like visiting the island, and then Cass lives there permanently. They call them like they actually call themselves the Permanents, like that group of people who live on the island. They live on this island called Koh Sang in Thailand. I haven't looked it up to see like the geography or anything. I really like to do that with books. Does anyone else like to do that? I love to just kind of see where things are in the world if like it's somewhere that I haven't been. And obviously I know where Thailand is, but I want to know like kind of the exact layout of where they are. So Cass teaches some diving classes, and she just had like a kind of a creepy experience with this guy, and we're not sure where that's gonna lead. Cass has had actually multiple creepy experiences, and Brooke is having one right now. where I'm at, and hopefully I think I'll read this one. I really want to read Quicksilver so badly, you guys. So I need to finish this whole like thriller thing. But I also just got another Geneva Rose audiobook that came through on my library holds while I was reading this one. So I'm like, ugh, am I just doing a thriller, like an entire thriller thing? I could do that and then do more romantasy in October. I don't know. The mood reading has just taken over, and I loved your suggestions on my last vlog as well. I know I was like so indecisive in that vlog. I apologize. As I watched it back, I was like, what was I doing? And I hope I didn't drive any of you crazy, but thank you for watching anyway. So this one I'm really enjoying. It's kind of like White Lotus in a book, which I love. So let's keep reading The Resort. I just have so many that look so good, but I need to read Quicksilver. The audio for this one doesn't come out until, I think, what did I say last vlog? October, but I'm gonna try and just read it without the audio because it sounds so good. But I do have the Veiled Kingdom audio being auto-delivered to me like 2 days because that comes out in 2 days. Let's keep reading for a little while and see how far I get. So I'm reading The Resort right now, and as you can see, it's set on this island called Koh Sang. And I was like, is that really a real island? Like I said earlier, I need to like research where it was in Thailand, and then I googled it and it's not a real island. Sang is like, has like the Latin root for blood. So I thought that was really fascinating and pretty smart of her, because when I first heard that, I was like, what are the odds that this is like Blood Island kind of a thing? And it fits so perfectly with the theme. So pretty funny. And I like that it took me this long to figure that out, but I still am proud of myself that I had kind of like that early inclination that I was like, what are the odds of this? And that's why I was kind of wanting to look it up earlier. So I'm glad I did. Okay, the plot thickens. Actually, The Resort was called The Dive. I just looked this up because I was following Sarah on Goodreads. By the way, if you're not following me on Goodreads, I'll link it below because I post more updates there. But I noticed that I was like, wait, she doesn't have a book called The Dive. So The Resort was actually originally called The Dive. And it's kind of funny because I feel like when Book of the Month picks up books, they tend to like sometimes change the title, or maybe it's just a different title in different regions, because it's happened with like Heartless Hunter is actually called The Crimson Moth in a lot of different places. So very interesting. I like that I went down this rabbit hole because I really like this author so far. I love her writing style. I'm just loving this book. It's like unfolding. I'm a little confused, but I think we're supposed to be confused. Okay, so The Resort, I think I'm on chapter 10 right now. I forgot completely that I had it from Book of the Month. That's also so funny to see how the Book of the Month books are just really tall. Like, they're just giant. It's turning into a true mystery. We just got like some information. It was like one of those things in a thriller where like your heart drops and you're like, oh no, like this is this is not good. But I'm so confused. Like there's parts of it where I'm really confused because, again, like the red herrings, I'm wondering what's going on. But the prologue, I think, actually has information. I'll have to look in here about what happened. Oh, cool. Sometimes I like to see what color, see if they match underneath the dust jacket, but this one seems like it's blue underneath, which is kind of funny. But the prologue, I need to go back and read it again because, and it's kind of annoying to go back and forth on the Kindle because you have to like go figure out which chapter you were on, and sometimes it's annoying, but I think that is a strength of physical books that you can like flip back. So I'm going to flip back in and I'm going to look and see if I understand, because I feel like I'm missing a few things, and I think it's because I wasn't listening to the prologue, because I did that one on the audiobook. I have this book in like every single form possible. I also have it on my Kobo. Like, this is so funny, but maybe I should do the Kobo comparison while I have this book from the library, because I have it like in every single form possible. So I might film that. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to see the Kobo versus Kindle versus physical book versus audiobook comparison, I guess. But I'm going to flip to the prologue. I'm going to reread it because I'm just super confused about something, and I'm wondering if it'll clear it up. Okay, so the thing that I was confused about is, so it starts by day. So what's funny is in the one that I just read, the You Shouldn't Have Come Here thriller by Geneva Rose, it was like day 1, day 2, day 3, like that kind of thing. This one, it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like that kind of a thing. So it's like, it's kind of similar, and I love it when books do that, like especially thrillers, because it like really unfolds. So this is interesting because it doesn't tell us whose perspective this chapter is from. I don't want to spoil anything, but for example, like the next, like chapter 1 says like Cass, and then we also have Brooke. So I don't know who the prologue's perspective is from. And maybe I haven't gotten there yet. I actually think there might be a third narrator, or are they tricking us and it's one of the two? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Okay, so now I'm on this chapter, which is chapter 9, and it's Brooke. I just read the prologue. I think I actually have suspicions for who that narrator was, even though it's unmarked, and I think I have predictions now for what's going to happen. I'm on page 98, and this book has like 300 and something pages, so I think I'm like almost 30% of the way in, so we'll see what happens here. It's a pretty quick read. Honestly, if you're in a reading slump, this one might not be a bad one, just because it's like really, really, really fast, and it's like a classic whodunit so far, so we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Actually, I think I might make an entire video, like books to get you out of reading slumps, because I feel like so many people I know have been in slumps lately, so I might make that video just because I feel like I have so many that I could think of, because I've been in quite a few reading slumps even since I started making this channel, but just in general. So all right, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna use the Kindle just because this guy is like so clunky. It's actually not that big of a book. Like some of the books from book of the month are really thick and it's hard, but this one you can kind of like lay flat like I was just doing, so it's actually not so bad. But I'm gonna try and go to bed because it's getting late, so this will be easier for me to read in the dark when I turn my lights off and I'm just using the Kindle. So let's see what happens. Honestly, I'm getting kind of creeped out. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, this isn't that creepy, but for some reason I'm feeling a little spooked, which is good, but also not good. So hopefully I sleep. Okay, we switched to the Kobo because I just wanted to see if the reading experience would be any better. I fell asleep last night. Then I made an iced latte. I spared you guys from that because I'm not sure if we like enjoy the coffee making or if it gets monotonous or what. I've heard a couple people say like it's cozy and they like it, but let me know. This one was an iced protein latte, and I don't know. I was thinking about doing like an ASMR like thing when I start it, because it separates, you know, like the coffee and the milk, and it's really satisfying when you start. So I can keep including the coffee, but this one I just didn't. But I'm reading on the Kobo. It says that I have 5.6 hours to go on the resort, which I don't know that I believe, but again, I don't know if this device knows me as well as my Kindle does at this point. I don't know if it's like per book or if it's just in general. I do like that it has like, here's chapter 9, Brooke, because it reminds me who the narrator is. That's really helpful. And then I'm on page 11 of 22 of this chapter. And then you can see like the little bar. So I'm like maybe a quarter of the way in, almost, maybe a third. No, that seems like it's pushing it. But on the Kindle, it seems like it's a little bit more. But I'm gonna read this for a while today. I really am on my thriller kick right now. And I have a couple of thriller holds that just came up from the library, but I was like, oh, I need to read Quicksilver. I really need to. So I know this vlog is getting kind of long because I totally forgot I have that PR unboxing at the beginning of this vlog. So I am going to pick this back up exactly where I'm leaving off, so you can subscribe to make sure that you kind of get the next vlog, so that this one doesn't get crazy long. I also wondered if you guys wanted to tell me what length of vlogs you prefer. Let me know if you have a preferred length. I've been doing really long ones, like 30-minute-ish ones, but I can also make them shorter. But I think it's kind of fun. I feel like it's like whenever I put on vlogs, it's like hanging out with a friend. And sometimes I don't even watch the whole entire thing. I just like put it on in the background, and then I'll have to like rewind because I realize I've gotten distracted, and then I go back and like finish it. So that's what I like to do. So I like long vlogs personally. Like I love watching long vlogs, but let me know what you think. So I'm also going to do a Kobo versus Kindle comparison. And then I realized I never actually did like a Kobo full review, but I wanted to wait until after I had had some time with it. So I'm going to read on it right now just so I can kind of get even more experience with it for that video. Then I'll also do a comparison. I also have fall reads coming up. I feel like I should like list all these out. Fall reading suggestions, books to get you out of a slump, I also need to do like recent reads that I've done, because I've had some thoughts on some books that I've read where in the moment I have a certain feeling. This is like terms and conditions. I had a moment where I was feeling something and then later I processed it, so the vlogs don't like fully represent everything, because then I need to go back to them later. So I need to do a reading wrap up as well. So I have all those videos kind of coming out, and I've had some requests for a tarot reading too. So make sure you are subscribed. Please like this video. It helps my videos so much when I get likes and comments, just to get out to even more people, and then I can spend even more time editing the vlogs and making them look cool, because it just helps my community grow. So thank you so much, and I respond to every single comment because I love you guys so much and I really appreciate you. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you're reading, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video.